right, so Saturday morning is here, and it's time for some French toast. Gonna be real good. Company's here. Gotta make something for breakfast. I'm also gonna put on some oven fried bacon, so we have a nice little bit of crispy and a little bit of savory to go with it. So I'll put that on shortly, but we'll get right back with you and show you just a few of these ingredients in just a moment. All right, so the ingredients for this are simple. 3 eggs, about 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and I've got imitation, but I'm making the real thing, so as soon as it's done, we'll get to it. 3/4 cup of milk, 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. I throw in about a tablespoon of sour cream, and then I have 2 tablespoons of brown sugar and 1 tablespoon of white sugar, along with a loaf of French bread. And really, to be honest with you, if you have day-old French bread, that's the best idea, because it holds together a little better. It makes for a more sturdy French toast when you're done. Of course, it doesn't hurt to have a good nonstick pan. You'll notice over there to the right, I've got a jar of peanut butter. Yeah, because my dad never made French toast that we didn't have peanut butter on it, so I have to do that. You don't have to. It's definitely an acquired taste, but I just love that peanut butter melting all over the French toast, and then some lovely syrup on it. And of course, we'll bring the syrup out when it's time to eat, but those are your ingredients, so hold tight and we'll get started. Okay, so one of the more important things we do is cutting that French bread so that you've got a good sturdy piece of French toast. So what I generally do is I go to the end and I cut on a diagonal. Now, can you use this piece of bread for your French toast? Sure. I mean, it's not going to absorb, you know, the beautiful mixture all the way around, but you can. And what I like to do is I like to slice on the diagonal, and I like to slice approximately 1-inch slices. And don't get me wrong, it takes a little doing to get them the way you want them. You don't want to crush the bread, so take your time cutting through that first outer layer. The inside's not so bad. And then to cut all the way down. We've got that bacon in the oven. It's going to be amazing. Anyway, we'll get this cut up, and then we'll get right back and show you how we put together. Okay, so in a good-sized bowl, I like to add my eggs. Throw those in the disposal. Everybody's like, what are you doing with your eggshells? Just throwing them over your shoulder? Yep. Just right into the disposal behind the camera that you don't see. So, is that okay? Yeah, that's okay. I mean, okay, everybody's got their opinion about their disposals. That's all you, boo-boo. But for me, disposal is fine. Disposal is fine. So, we will basically go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and cream in my sugars with the eggs. That's always a good thing. And I will go ahead and add the milk. And I'm going to get my whisk. And we're just going to begin the process of integrating that sugar, milk, and eggs. Got that? Teaspoon, about 2 teaspoons. And again, a lot of this stuff, I kind of eyeball it. Yeah, that's my bacon coming to temperature. Sorry about that. All right, just kind of eyeball it. And I like to integrate that cinnamon at this point, because really, that cinnamon, it does not want to integrate into a liquid like this. So, that's all right. And we'll add a couple of teaspoons of vanilla. I'm not accurately measuring, but I'm getting pretty close. So honestly, it's flavor. What's it gonna hurt? Ain't gonna blow nothing up for sure. Mix it on in, and you can mix that up as much or as little as you want to. Then we have sour cream. Now this is just a personal thing, but the sour cream adds a nice little bounce to things, you know. And so I usually put in about a tablespoon and a half of sour cream, and whip that into the mixture really well. And you're going to find that's a little hard to incorporate, but it does get blended in. Just keep whisking. Just keep whisking. Just keep whisking. Yay! When we're done with that mixture, we're going to pour it up into a dippable pan, something that the bread will fit in, and we'll begin dipping the bread and putting it on into the pan for frying. So, back with you shortly. One thing that I failed to mention is anytime I'm doing something sweet, whether that's a dessert or whatever, I like to add just a pinch of salt. And in this case, I put a pinch of Himalayan salt in there. The salt has a tendency to, counterbalance all of the sweet that you're going to encounter in this. It just adds a savory undertone. It's not enough that the French toast is going to be salty or anything like that, but it's always good just to kind of add that pinch in there. So hopefully you'll be able to do that while you're incorporating your ingredients as well. If you're a low salt diet, skip it. That's all right. It'll still be good. I can promise you. Okay, so now at this point, you're just going to take your bread pieces, and you don't want to go too crazy with it, but you're going to dredge them in this egg, cinnamon, sugar, milk mixture, and just give them just a few minutes. Now, if you let them soak long enough, the bread is going to start falling apart. I do not recommend loaf bread with this. Have I ever made French toast with loaf bread? Because yes, I have. The only thing about that is you have a lot less time to like actually get that bread soaked and get it over to a pan. So it's a good idea to definitely to keep in mind the thickness of your bread when you're doing whatever. And I'm going to tell you, day-old bread honestly works better in the long run when you get down to it. So I have a plate over there on the other side of the stove so that I can just dip these pieces right on over. If you see little bits of sour cream or whatever, that will incorporate once you're frying. But it honestly makes an amazing French toast. And you just want to incorporate that a piece at a time. Go ahead and give this one a turn, see what we look like. Ooh, that one got a little done. I have to give this one a checkaroo. That pan's a little hot. I would say turn it down to medium. All right, give this one a shot. You just want to give the opportunity for that to cook and to cook through. And we'll come right back when we're ready to plate this up. Amazing French toast, so good. See you in a minute. Now, I don't generally do it whenever I'm first putting the piece of toast in the pan, but after I have flipped the toast, given it like one good cook on one side, I'll line it back up, and then I use my spatula to kind of flatten down the piece so that we make sure that all of the liquid goodness that's inside gets cooked completely. That's just always a nice idea. You just flip your toast back and forth until you can see it's nice and golden brown, and the middle is kind of set well. So that's what we're after. That's what we're looking for in a good French toast. So I do recommend a nonstick pan because it's easier to get around in it, but definitely you're not going to have as much sticking in the mix. So I'll be right back. We'll plate it up and we'll show you how it all looks. Okay, so now we're going to plate it up, and this is going to be amazing. We have French toast with real French bread. I'm going to tell you how I do this. You don't have to do it. But I grew up with my dad putting peanut butter, just a very thin layer of peanut butter, on pancakes and French toast. It was a dad thing. So I don't think that sincerely I could enjoy French toast any other way. I try, like I go to restaurants and I will order French toast and ask them if they have peanut butter, and then I'll cancel the order if they don't, because I'm like, what's the point? Why do it? So I'm doing that. I'm going to do these beautiful pieces of bacon right over here. Looky, looky. That one didn't look like it got as done as I like, but there may be somebody here that will like it okay like that. And then, look at this. I don't do a lot of syrup on my French toast. Just a little bit. And yeah, don't judge me for Mrs. Butterworth. Lady's been in my family for generations. So anyway, I'm going to take a taste in just a moment, okay? Okay, the Poppy taste test. Now here's the thing before I do it. Make sure you hit like and subscribe, because all that stuff helps me out a whole lot. And we definitely want to do that. I'm already up to, I don't know how many. I would just really love to get 200 by the end of November. I'm still kind of low in this whole channel thing. Still learning to make the videos, if you know what I mean, because I'm an old dude, we don't do this stuff. And I ain't cute right now. If y'all looking for cute, you can go find another YouTuber, because there's some really cute ones out there. But anyway, all right, so I've got my French toast. I'm going to give this a cut. It's so good. And you might even want a knife if you use the real French bread. Definitely worth it. So here we go with my beautiful, look at this. Oh, it's so nice. That's what I mean. You got that sweet, then you have a little bite of bacon, but that little bit of savory, perfect breakfast every time. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy this. I hope that you tell other people about it. Help me get my subscriber base up, because definitely trying to do that by the end of the year. And I look forward to talking to you soon. We're definitely going to come back together again pretty soon, and I'm going to do some shepherd's pie. So that'll be kind of nice. Be looking for it. I will talk to you soon. Bye. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's time to rise and shine.